you look at your life right now, do you feel like you're hitting your goals? Every single one of them. Out of 10 different goals that you set, are you at 5 of them? Are you at 3? Are you at 7? Or you at 0? Are you starting from scratch? You feel like you have all this uphill battle, this mountain that you need to climb. Well, if you do, and if you're feeling behind, here are 6 different things that are holding you back. And once you fix these, you can create any life you want. You can have whatever you want. You can become whoever you want to become. But you have to fix these things. And one of my coaches once said, it's not about the things that I do, it's about the things that I don't. And so then I started asking myself, what are some things that I have changed already? And what are some things that I want to continue working on? That once I fix these even more so, I can go to the next level. And the first one is energy. The universe is just energy. Money is energy. Relationships are just energy. Everything is energy. Then you can start to understand how other people as well influence your daily decisions and the quality of your life. Even music that you listen to, even movies that you watch, everything. Because most of our actions happen subconsciously, right? And so the first thing is like, I never allow any negative energy to be in my life. If people complain, like it's one thing to ask for advice and be honest and say like, things aren't easy right now, I'm looking for advice. And I always want to help people. But then if you stay in that place, like you have no right to bring that negativity into someone else's life 24/7, 7 days of the week. It's your responsibility to manage your energy and bring positive energy to the places and locations you go. And your job as an entrepreneur is to guide your energy. Maybe that's in your workspace, in your personal life, in your relationships. And the reality is you can't go and change people, but you can change yourself. So you can control the controllables, and then you can allow positive energy to enter your life. And once they're in that space, you can be with them and you can both grow. But otherwise, that negative energy is gonna suck the good energy out of you and keep you stuck in their place. Number 2 is investing. And I'm not talking about stocks and bonds and crypto even. I'm talking about investing in yourself. And at the beginning, it's gonna look a little bit different than after you made 7 figures. So you might want to look at where you invest your money. Sure, do you invest it back into advertising, back into team, back into assets like softwares? Do you invest it into gaming altcoins in the bull run? Or do you invest it into traveling? Do you invest it into experiences? Do you invest it into masterminds? I'll tell you a few things where I invest my money. The biggest one has always been my education, and it's not because of the courses and the information. It's more so about like the system they teach, and then taking like the 3 things that's gonna help me move forward and get better at this one thing. And then I buy another one to learn those few things. So it's not about finding one thing and just staying there and consuming it forever. But it is about staying focused and knowing what you need so that you're not constantly being sold to new information. And so instead of investing into a TV, a PlayStation, whatever it is this holiday season, invest in something that's gonna move you to the goals that you have, move you closer to the dreams and the reality that you wanna live. And then once you get to that goal and you start making more money, then you wanna invest into masterminds because now you get connections. And so information is access to the right data sources or the right information, but networks and masterminds are access to the right people. And then 1 or 2 or 3 of those connections can make you way more money than information can in the beginning. And then once you're making money, you have multiple streams of income, you're making good active income. Now you can start investing money into passive income, or you can invest into things like crypto or real estate or stocks and things of that nature. But businesses are easier to scale to cash flow more. Then you can take some of that to multiply it with other wealth pockets, if you will, methods. But the best way to start generating more cash flow is definitely businesses. Number 3 is sleep. I can tell right now from me thinking what to say, the fact that my daughter woke me up way too early, that I didn't get the best sleep. And I can tell sometimes if it's my own fault that I go to sleep too late and I only get like 6 hours of sleep, I'm 50% less creative. 50%. That's half the quality. So if I have a big client meeting and I get 9 hours of sleep or even 10 and get amazing sleep, that meeting can go south, it can go really bad, it can go really good based on the sleep. And these are the details that nobody talks about. And your creativity, for example, the way you build your sales pitch, the way that you create your content, the way that you do your meetings, your videos, whatever it is that you do, the quality is always going to depend on how well you slept, whether you know it or not. So I highly recommend you get your sleep, because the fastest way to fail is to never sleep enough and then burn out. Number 4, I recently experienced this with one of my coaching clients, where they were making a lot of emotional decisions. Things like, I have 3 businesses, none of them are making me money. One is starting to, the online business is starting to make me money, but the physical are kind of more like attached to me because they were my babies. And it reminded me of when I closed down my 6-figure SMMA, my social media marketing agency back in, 2018 maybe? And it was hard, and it reminded me of so many different decisions I've had to make that were extremely difficult. But that's an emotion. I am not my emotions, so you're not your emotions. And if you make your decisions based on the emotions that you feel, you're never going to be successful, because you're going to make irrational decisions. You're going to make decisions when you have a high, a super high, or a super low moment. And the best thing that you can do is to always neutralize the emotion, come up, get some fresh air, and then make logical decisions based on what's best for you right now and what's best for you 10 years from now. And somewhere in between there, you're gonna find that, hey, actually it makes sense to close down this business because this one is the future, right? It's kind of like being in the newspaper business and then seeing what's happening online with AI and the internet and crypto, blockchain, or freelancers or whatever it is, and ignoring that because something else feels safe in the moment. And like, which one are you listening more to? The voice that says, oh, this is comfortable, stay here, or this, the future, inevitably you're gonna have to go there. It's kind of like if you have to walk on something painful and you know you have to do it, are you gonna do it now or in 30 days? Why not do it now and get it over with and just move forward making logical decisions? Number 5, this is a big one, especially in today's landscape, the way that media and news and social media, how everything works with all these impressions and biases and narratives. It's super hard to be clear on what you want and how you're gonna get there. And I'm talking about autonomous thinking. So when you make your decisions, are these just decisions based on what they said, what he told you to do, what this guru told you, what this news media outlet, this narrative on Twitter or X? You making decisions based on what you want and your values is extremely difficult, because a lot of times you'll look up to someone and you might agree with a couple of things they said, but then there's this one big thing. It's like, one example, maybe a bad example for some of you, but for me, if I look up to someone and I like their masculine content, but then they have 10 different girlfriends, then I'm not gonna take advice from those people in those areas where I don't align with the values. And so one example of like when it's important to have autonomous thinking, knowing what is important for you, why it's important, and why you believe what you believe, so that you can be free in your own thoughts. And then you can start to sort of align your mentors or people you learn from based on also knowing like, I could hang out with this person, we're kind of the same, right? Versus just like, oh, they're rich, I wanna be rich, let me learn from those and let me just blindly listen to them. And so that's a very big thing. Number 6 is about being bold. And this is super hard as well when there's a lot of things you wanna do, but then there's like, what if this happens? What if they said this? Or what if this and that? And it's like, no matter what you do, if you start a business, you get all these doubters, or you get people telling you, especially if you ask for advice, and even when you don't ask for advice, you get these tips of like, hey, I care for you, I wanna protect you, don't do this, it's risky. And it's hard to be bold in your true self and follow what you think is the right decision, because a lot of times you'll never know. When you get started, you'll never know if it's gonna be the right decision. But it's more important to fail in your truth and going all in rather than succeeding at something you never wanted to do in the first place. So when you listen to the different sources of inspiration, when you're collecting data sets and forming your own opinion, your own path, your own success journey, then go all in and say, I'm gonna do this no matter what. There is no plan B, right? Because if I focus on 2 different paths, I'm like, okay, I've tried, I'm gonna try 90 days. These are the questions I get when people say, do you think I can make this much if I just try 90 days? The fact they say try means no, right? If you said, I'm here, I'm dedicated for 10 years. I'm gonna do whatever it takes. I want my freedom. I want to have financial, time, location, freedom. I'm willing to do whatever it takes. Just show me how to do it. Please help me when I get stuck. please just support me and guide me. That's a different story, because you could see results in 90 days, but it's because you're going all in, not to kind of test out the waters, right? And so be bold once you make a decision. If someone is like, hey, I liked you when you were the older person, I liked you, you know, before you've changed so much, man. I would say thank you. So when you make a decision, go all in, keep your energy tight, keep your friend circle small, but keep them real. And then once you form your opinion based on everything you see online, you start understanding yourself more. Write down what you want, why you want it, why you believe certain things. I also think it's important to keep God as the foundation, so that you know where your sort of North Star is, the compass in life. So when you make decisions, you kind of go, is this good or evil, right? And is this just for me selfishly, or is this also going to help a lot of people? And that is a launch pad for you to make decisions and start your journey, and then go all in and find people that are just like you to help you, support you on that journey. And I promise you, it's impossible to fail. There's a quote, it goes something like this: it's impossible to fail if you don't give up. And I really believe that sentiment, because it's not about not failing, it's about letting enough time pass through failure and then seeing results, because most people stop in the middle and they never see enough failures to then succeed.